Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be the new makeup releases for September. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to talk you through the new makeup releases that stood out to me, that were released and announced in the past couple of weeks. And I'm going to take it up where I left off. I did this video a little bit later in August than I normally would, but I was still on vacation, so that's why there is a little less here than normal, because there's just a shorter period of time for me to be chatting about new makeup. So let me just get to it. I have over 30 releases still to chat about with you, and one of them I'm super excited for. The rest, as per usual, I'm not so sure. I was already mentioning it in some other videos that I posted this week, that I'm feeling very satisfied with the makeup I have. I have the new Essence and Catrice stuff to test out, so I have enough to sort of like fill the channel, fill my blog, do what I need to do. So there isn't anything that I really feel like I need to prioritize like ASAP. Maybe later this fall. Very often I feel things that are announced in September that are released then in October, November are the things that truly capture my interest. So I think this is sort of like the calm before the storm. So let me just get to it, because there are already holiday and fall releases that have been announced, because, you know, it's September and beauty brands like to be early. So I had to adjust the lighting a little bit and my, how low my camera was down, because I didn't like the look of that. So if I looked a little bright in the intro, I do apologize. The first thing I want to talk about is the holiday collection from Givenchy. We know all these luxury brands start doing their limited editions collections for the holiday season. And this looks like an okay holiday release. It's like golds and silvers. Not that spectacular for a holiday collection. We get these kind of shades a lot around this time of year. So to me, this is okay. It's not anything that I would want to get my hands on. There seems to be some like loose powder and loose highlighter stuff in here as well. If that's something you're interested in, then that can be nice, I think. But for me, loose powder and loose highlighters are just never really my cup of tea. So I'm going to be skipping this one. There is a new collection between CoverGirl and the last season of Stranger Things that's coming out later this fall, I believe. Which makes sense. I mean, Stranger Things was really popular at some point. By now, I feel there was so much time between the previous season and this season that I can hardly be excited for it, because I no longer remember what was going on in the previous season, and I'm not about to rewatch an entire season just so I can be up to speed. I'll probably watch it, I'll probably enjoy it, depending on where they take things. But when it comes to this makeup collection that they've released in collaboration with CoverGirl, I'm like, it's not that exciting. It's just like some lip tints, and there seems to be like an eyeshadow face palette kind of thing. It's just not that interesting, and if this is like themed after the Upside Down, then I don't think that that's something that I need in my life. Let's be true here. Troublemaker Beauty has been announced as a new beauty brand, and this is looking bright and colorful, and like a lot of the skincare brands that all the like tweeny sort of girls are going gaga for. So I think this brand is really trying to like tap into that demographic, just the way this is being styled. It feels a bit young. There are some baked products. I think I saw on TikTok who actually created the brand. Like somebody who's like famous within the beauty sphere is behind this, I believe. It seems to be, was it Makeup Revolution? I don't know. I don't want to like say this wrong, but it seems to be pretty affordable, so that makes me think like it is. Perhaps like one of the things that are started by Makeup Revolution, it's all like £4 or £5. Is this then coming to the UK drugstore? I don't know. Maybe I can check it out, because I did actually book myself a trip to London before the end of the year. So this is something I might be able to check out if they have it in stores then. But if it's online only, I don't think I will be going out of my way to grab anything. It all looks a little young for me. I don't think I'm the target audience for this kind of makeup line. I already mentioned it. I have the new Essence bits in. These were announced mid-August, so about 2 weeks ago. And I have the new collection, at least the bits that were interesting to me and that I want to test out for you guys. And I will be filming with it really, really soon and show you those products on Tuesday. So stay tuned, because then I'll show you what's new from Essence. There's a new cushion foundation that I'm really curious after they are doing some new mascaras or older formulas in different tones that I wanted to try. And there were some cream cheek products that I was interested in. So let's see how I fare with the new Essence stuff. So this is already in my house. I will be filming with it really, really soon. Something I am excited for is the Haus Labs Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm. I hope this comes to Europe really soon. I will be going to Paris at the start of October. So of course I want to check out Sephora and like do that, because I haven't really been like to a Sephora. Like I went to the one in London when I went in May, but I haven't done a lot of beauty shopping in store really. So I want to check this out and see if I like it. It seems to come in plenty of shades, so that's always good. Haus Labs is usually pretty good at shade ranges. And I did quite enjoy the stick blush that I have from the brand. And this is the Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm. So it's like a contour stick. It comes in 10 shades, it seems. So that seems to be really reasonable. And overall, Haus Labs is a pretty solid brand in my book. So this is something I may want to check out, but provided that I can find it at a Sephora, either in Paris or in London when I'm there before the end of the year. If this hasn't come up on, if it hasn't come to Europe yet, I may have to pass up, but I feel like Sephora releases nowadays are pretty on point. Like if a brand is available in Sephora, we tend to get it pretty quickly at the same time, and we can get it through Sephora nowadays, which makes it a lot easier. Not like with drugstore brands where we're always like behind a year. Viseart is re-releasing the Paris A12 palette. I already mentioned this in several videos in the past week. I just did a trial with a lot of Viseart palettes, so if you want to check that out, it went up on Thursday. It was for the Lilas Lumiere and the Ceraneuse, like some of their newer things that I hadn't tested out yet. This one has been in my collection for years, and it's a really good smoky eye palette. So I can see why they're re-releasing this. It has a beautiful sort of tealy blue in there that is actually good quality. It is a matte, and then it has some deeper shimmers. It's really, really beautiful for like the holiday season that's coming up. If this still has like the beautiful Parisian skyline on it, that is like an extra bonus point. I also tested out the London and the San Francisco that came out in the same line. I still have those in my house, but I no longer use them. So yeah, this is beautiful. If you missed out on this one the first time round, then you will probably enjoy this if you do enjoy the Viseart formula. If I didn't already own this in my own personal collection, then I probably would be much more excited for this one. And I would be putting this on a wish list to be buying it later this fall. But I already own it, so that's why I don't need to get my hands on this. Lancome has some new lipsticks. These seem to be limited edition. They're the L'Absolu Rouge lipsticks to celebrate their 90th anniversary. Lancome is one of those brands that's been around for decades. That's what I like about them, but I always feel like they have a really big Lancome display in like plenty of the beauty stores that are in my town, and I never gravitate towards it. I always feel it looks like it's solid. It's good quality makeup for sure, but it always looks a little bit boring to me. So it's not something that gets my heart beating faster, but I think that if you're looking for something that's just a solid pick that can see you through, then Lancome can be something worth checking out, but it's not my favorite brand. There is a new foundation from Natasha Denona. We got a high glam concealer, so it was only time that they would be doing a high glam foundation, and that's what this is. Looks okay. Let's see. It's radiant, natural looking, hydrating, and glowy with hyaluronic acid and squalane. It comes in 52 shades, and it's supposed to last all day. This sounds like it's something I might like. Again, if this is already out in a Sephora that I'm at, by the time this is released, then I'm going to be checking this out. It said here coming soon on August 17th, but I don't have a release date. So this could already be out, but it could also take a little bit of time for it to actually be in stores. Yeah, I love the High Glam concealer I have. I think it's one of my favorite concealers by a high-end brand. So that is definitely something that if it's that formula, but in a foundation, I'm going to be really happy with this. So this may be something that is worth checking out With the High Glam Concealer, I really struggled finding a shade for me that was gonna work. I really had to go into store to test it out to see what might be right for me. So I know I have to see this in store before I make a decision. This is not something I can just order online. So if I can't find it in store, because that's been a thing with Natasha Denona products, very often they only have a limited selection of what Natasha Denona has to offer, which is why I'm so happy that I do go to Paris, where you have the big Sephora flagship store on the Champs-Elysees. And if I go there, that's the only place in Europe really where I have been able to find the full Natasha Denona range. And I know that Selfridges also has a good selection of Natasha Denona. So those are two places that I know I can like hit up before the end of the year to hopefully check this out and be able to find my shade if it's then in stock. If it's not in stock, then I will at least know what shade I'm going to be, and then I can like order it online a little bit more swiftly. But yeah, this is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm interested, but I'm really not in the market for a new foundation currently. So this is not something I need to prioritize necessarily. It can be nice, but I may also decide to pick it up at a later date. Not really sure yet. There is a new makeup brand by makeup artist Vang. No, I hope I pronounced his name correctly. And there is a little bit of buzz about this, especially because it comes with a lot of color. And something is telling me that color is going to be back. I think in the next year or so, we're going to see a lot more colorful looks. I think the emphasis has been on like skin and very minimal makeup for a good couple of years now. And I'm just feeling like the pendulum is going to swing towards more colorful, bolder, more glamorous makeup in the next couple of years to come. I really think that that's going to happen. Trends tend to happen in cycles. Once we got over the super bold look of like 2016, 2017, 2018, we definitely went the more like minimalistic route, you could say. And I do feel there is going to be this more focus on like super glam, more colorful makeup, and this makeup artist is feeling the same way, it seems. There's a bright blue palette, there's a bright green palette. I'd never heard of him, but I've seen pictures now of things he's done, and he does some really beautiful looks. It's just that I'm not a makeup artist. So when it comes to makeup artist brands, I'm always a little bit skeptical because how, like for instance, Hindash, I think the makeup looks amazing, but it's not something that I would use as a casual makeup consumer. So that's why I feel like sometimes makeup artist brands make makeup for other makeup artists, and I get that vibe from this brand as well. I love a bit of red in my life, so I like the red packaging. So this feels colorful, it feels bold. I'm excited for this, and I would love to see where this brand goes, but it's not something where I'm like, ooh, I need to get this ASAP. I think I had already talked about this, but I didn't really have images of any of the products just yet. And it's the Louis Vuitton makeup. And there's a lot of talk about this brand because apparently one lipstick is like 140 euros for one lipstick, which is just so expensive. And I think that this is definitely one of the things that we've been seeing in the past couple of years with these luxury brands entering the makeup sphere. Louis Vuitton already had some lipsticks in the past that were also quite expensive, actually. I don't think there is a formula on the planet that warrants this price point. What you're paying for is packaging, the name of the brand, the marketing that goes into it. That's what you're paying for. Makeup can be produced very cheaply and be excellent. So it doesn't have to cost this much. I feel like whenever you pay more than 20 euros for a product, you're paying for name and packaging and marketing mostly, especially with brands like this. Does it look pretty? Yes, but now that I look at the way this is styled, I just feel like it looks like Pat McGrath, and she's the creative director behind this brand now. And I'm like, it just kind of like, even like the way the bullet is shaped of these lipsticks makes me think Pat McGrath. The way these color stories for these shadows are laid out makes me think Pat McGrath. So yeah, it's luxurious makeup. Will I be buying this? Absolutely not. This is way out of my budget, so don't expect me to be reviewing this. But yeah, it is what it is. If there's a market for it, I'm sure somebody will be buying this. Tower 28 has a new product. This is the Go Go Cooling shimmer eyeshadow. I don't think that I necessarily want my eyeshadow stick to be cooling, because usually that means, like, if makeup products are cooling, they tend to have some sort of menthol in usually. And to put menthol on my eyes, I'm not sure I want that. I'm not sure whether that's the case, but very often these cooling sensations come from alcohol or from menthol in most products. So I'm not sure how they've done it, but yeah. I don't think that this is something that I would like to like swatch it for sure. I have some Tower 28 products I truly love. The only problem I have with the brand is that a lot of their products tend to expire really quickly, but there are some beautiful shades here. There's this purpley duochrome thing. There's like a silvery taupey leaning thing, and then like a bronzy taupey leaning thing. So there are 3 really good cool tones, and we all know I love that sort of thing. Here's the thing. I would use this as a single shadow, a one and done. There would be no other way that I would probably be using these. And I have plenty of liquid and eyeshadow sticks and cream shadows that can do that for me. So I know I don't need it for this brand, but I think it's good for the brand. I don't think they had a lot of eyeshadow yet, so it makes sense for them. There are some good shades here. It's a solid launch. It just, with Tower 28, I always feel pressured to use things up. That's why their concealer and 2 of their lip products are currently in my Shop My Stash the entire year, just because I want to get through them before they expire. Then we have this is an image of the new MAC collection. I think I already mentioned it last time around, but this way we have a better overview of these products. There seem to be some like lip glosses, some face things, some eyeshadows, a palette, some gift sets and stuff. There's a lot. MAC always has a lot for holiday, I feel. And I've always heard that MAC limited edition isn't as good as their regular range. So I've mainly tried MAC products from their regular range and not from their limited editions. And there isn't anything here that truly speaks to me. I like the mint packaging. That's very wintry. But the rest of it just looks like anything MAC has already done. I don't need it in special packaging or shaped slightly differently. There is a new palette by DD Signature. I don't know how new it is. Oh, it says here that it launched on the 29th of August. This is the Broken Jewels palette, which looks beautiful. It's a little bit deep though for my liking. Like, I do not gravitate to a palette like this because it's just not made for my skin tone. If you do have medium to deep skin, this may be something to test out. There are some lovely shimmers here, some deeper mattes. Overall, this color story does look quite interesting to me. I like that pop of like bright periwinkle teal in the middle. That's really catching my eye. But the rest of the palette, I'm not so sure about. And if I look at this color story overall, it's actually giving off vibes of things that I do already have in my makeup collection. So I don't feel I need to prioritize this one in particular. The new Nomad Halloween release has been announced. They do one every year now, it seems. This is Witch City Salem, and this looks beautiful, but I especially like the cooler toned half of the palette and not the other half. It's not as pink as the Verona Amore e Morte that I used to own, that I decluttered because the color story wasn't really up my street, and the colors I would use from it were too similar to other things I already had. But I'm sort of getting a similar vibe to it. We have one side that is really vibrant and these like fall pumpkin sort of shades, and then we have some murkier sort of spooky shades on the other side. Beautiful, yes. If you love your fall color stories, I think you're gonna love this. We all know I really rate the Nomad formula, and here they're doing it again where you're getting 3 shimmers, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, 3 mattes. I love that layout. But these colors aren't really my vibe, and I already have a couple of palettes that have like oranges with these brighter pops of green. My Wicked Widow Beauty Tales of Terror A Haunting palette comes to mind. And I have purpley grays with berries in so many different palettes. So for me, this would not be unique enough to purchase it with my own money, but it is a really beautiful palette. I think it is a nice addition to the Halloween palettes that they already do. And then, like, the collector in me is like, oh, but then you would have all 3. You know what I mean? But would I actually want to go out my way and use this? I would not. So that's why I will be skipping this, but I think it is a beautiful release from Nomad, and they're doing some wonderful things here again. Then this I was really happy with because a creator that I follow here on YouTube, Nopor, I did a video inspired by one of her videos during eyeshadow palette month, has a collab with Bella Beauty Bar. This is the Coalescence eyeshadow palette. Comes with 16 shades from what I can tell, and it's beautiful. It has some really beautiful shimmers in. There are these really murky sort of mattes in here. Really beautiful. Here's the reason why I'm not going to be picking it up, even though I love her as a creator, and I really enjoy the Bella Beauty Bar formula. The shades that are in here are, again, a little bit dark for me. It's going to be a little bit deep. She has much deeper skin than I do, so no surprises there. So this is going to work really well if you have similar skin to her, I think. But for my really fair skin, I don't think this is going to work necessarily. There are a few shades I would really gravitate towards here, but there is also quite a bit here where I'm like, A lot of the shimmers seem to have a warm reflect. And that's something that I've been mentioning also in my eyeshadow palette collection video that I did last week. I find that a lot of indie brands, when they do these shifty shimmers, they always shift warm toned. Even if they look cool toned in the pan, even if they have a cool tone base, it will shift to a gold or like a raspberry pink very often. And I feel that that's the case with this palette as well. But congratulations to her. I think she did a really good job with this palette. It looks beautiful, but it's not for me. There's some new Charlotte Tilbury bits. From what I can tell, it's mainly, is it skincare? What is this? Oh, there's a lip mask. There's a blurring and waterproof setting spray. Not something that I need in my life because I don't like a mattifying finish. Like, you can see how glowy my makeup is. This. If I don't look like I'm sweating, I don't like my makeup look. So, and then there is a blurring and matte full coverage, the Airbrush Flawless Blurring and Matte Full Coverage Foundation. It says new and improved, so this was indeed a product they already had. Again, like I said about the setting spray, I don't love a matte finish. I don't go for full coverage. Like, this is plenty of coverage for me. I don't mind it if there's little things sort of poking through and you can see some of my imperfections through my makeup. I don't need full coverage in my life. If you do like matte makeup, if you do like full coverage, you do you. I think this is lovely. Let's be real here. Charlotte Tilbury can do some really good complexion products. I've got a couple still in my makeup collection that I absolutely love. The Light Wonder is still my favorite foundation by them till this day. But this is not something that I need in my life. Fenty Beauty has also reformulated and released some more shades in their ultra fine blurring setting powder, the Set It Down blurring setting powder. I'm not sure what the new shade is because it doesn't say here, but it now comes in 8 shades. I have the one in Butter from this line in a little travel size. The old version. I feel this product has been reformulated twice ever since I bought mine. And it's one of my favorite loose powders. It's the only loose powder in my makeup collection. And because I have that one, I feel no inkling to be even testing out anymore. So that's why I think this is good. The two like pinky shades that are there, there's like a lavender, which is like this lavender pink, and they now do strawberry milk. I think that's actually the new one. That's more pink toned. I think those look lovely. I think they would work really well for my skin tone. So especially if you have very fair, cool toned skin, definitely look into Fenty. And this is one of the very few loose powders that I've tried that isn't too mattifying. Yes, it does set your makeup in place, but there is still something alive looking about your skin when you wear this. I just don't love a very matte look on myself. It just doesn't really go with me. And then this is the thing I'm most excited for. I'll pop the reel here on the screen, but I managed to grab a screenshot of what I think the inside of this palette is actually going to look like because we haven't seen it yet. But Monolith is collabing with Glaminatrix, or the other way around. Glaminatrix is collabing with Monolith on a palette. So there is going to be a Monolith exclusive Glaminatrix palette. And it's gonna launch when they launch their new collection, and the new Monolith launch should happen around the 21st of September, I believe they were trying to aim for. So this is super exciting. I had a look at the color story and it looked really, really interesting. So I think this is going to be something I'm going to pick up, even if I'm not offered it in any sort of PR. Of course, fingers crossed that they do offer it to me in PR, because I am affiliated with Monolith, in case you're wondering. So there's always a link in the description box down below and my code, and you can get 5% off your order. The code isn't valid when they're doing their launch. So if for a couple of days before the launch and a couple of days after the launch, they deactivate the discount codes. But yeah, it's lovely for them. I think it's a good collab between these two brands. And what I did see on the Glaminatrix Instagram this morning before I sat down to film this video is that they are collabing with Unearthly to get this palette to US customers. So when you order this as a US customer from the Glaminatrix website, they are going to be using the fulfillment center that Unearthly has to send this palette, this collab, what's it called again? It's the Crown Legacy palette, to get this to US customers as well. Because of course, if you're in the US, you cannot order through Monolith. So I think this is a really great way, because Glaminatrix is one of the brands that's struggling to getting their products into the US now that there's these massive tariffs that they're being charged, and they're still trying to figure things out behind the scenes. I believe they still have 1 or 2 shipping options left, but they're trying to make the entire ordering process a little bit more streamlined and easier for US customers. So in the meantime, they found Unearthly willing to help them out. And so now they can, I think they're going to be shipping these palettes to Unearthly, and then Unearthly is going to be shipping it out to you if you're in the US. So even if you're in the US, you can get this this palette if you're interested. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, ooh, woohoo, this is such a good collab. So I'm really curious to see this, and yeah, whatever happens, I'll probably be picking this one up. Some more Lancome then. This is their holiday collection. It looks a little bit Baroque inspired almost. It looks pretty, but like with Givenchy, it's okay. It's giving spring to me though. It's not very holiday-esque. Oh well. And then of course we're getting advent calendars. So this is a reel from Catrice. They also have an advent calendar out, and these are a blush and highlighter that are in there. They seem to be a very similar formula to the new blushes that they have come out with in the update for fall winter. I already have one of those, so I don't feel I need to add more. I'm not a huge fan of advent calendars, so you will not see me using those on my channel at all. Whenever I've tried advent calendars, I always end up with so much random stuff that I wasn't interested in, so that's why I never get, like, I just don't find them worth the money. Very often I don't really get products that I'm interested in, so that's why I'll be skipping this. But if you were interested in trying this, then maybe the advent calendar from Catrice could be something to try. This is the Nars holiday collection, and I really see this as a trend. These like pastels and like softer shades for holiday, I think it can be nice because I tend to wear these softer shades quite a bit when it's like the winter time. I like these sort of pastel leading things. But Nars being Nars, we're getting face palettes again that look like any other face palette they've ever done. There seems to be a really beautiful, I think it's a highlighter. Yeah, there seems to be a beautiful highlighter though as well. So I like the packaging mostly of this. Like, it looks beautiful, but most of these shades aren't really something that make me go like, ooh, yes, I want this in my life. But if you want to try Nars, then this may be something to look into. There is a new powder from NYX, the Wonder Snatch powder. Is this loose or is this pressed? It doesn't say. It's mess-free, so that makes me think that it is a loose powder, because those tend to be the messy things when it comes to powders. And it comes in 8 shades, so that's good. I'm not really in the market for a new powder. I have plenty of them in my collection as we speak, so this is not something I will be buying. But I have tried NYX powders in the past. I tried their loose powder. I've tried the banana powder. I've tried their the white one, the HD powder. That one I liked best in the end, but it was a little bit, like, it left a little bit of a white cast, so that's why I stopped using it. But NYX can do good powders. Rare Beauty is coming out with all of the gift sets. I think this is part of their holiday collection. There's like blushes, and there's a, I think like an eyeshadow sort of thing, and there's like a mascara one with the skincare. They have quite a bit here, and I do think that this is a great way to test out the brand, and especially the one with like the liquid blush, and actually a full size of their matte bouncy blushes, so the cream blush they came out with. I think that's really good value for money, and it's a great way to test the formula. The liquid blushes from Rare Beauty are so incredibly pigmented that having these small ones is going to see you through, because you only need a little bit of product. So that's why I think they're really good value for money. So this is worth looking into if you would want to test out some Rare Beauty, I think. Makeup by Mario has a new Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. Natural finish, weightless, medium coverage, all day shine control, and 16 hours of hydration. It says it's not shiny or overly matte though, so it's probably like a demi matte or a satin finish. That's about as matte as I would go. I've never tried Makeup by Mario like concealers or foundations, because I haven't been able to find anything within the range that truly appeals to me. But this again, if I do find this in store, I will be swatching it just to see what the formula is like, because I am interested. I have some Makeup by Mario products that I think are excellent and really good value. So yeah, I think that this can be a nice release, especially for this brand. This is a brand that's slowly but surely being expanded on as we speak. So it makes sense for the brand, but is it something that makes sense in my makeup collection? Not necessarily. Wet n Wild has a new collab as well for Halloween, it seems, with the Disney villains. We've seen Disney villains collabs from brands all over the spectrum over the past couple of years. I mean, SS and Catrice has done a lot. We had a MAC collection ages ago. So this is something that's been done a lot. I cannot really get my hands on Wet n Wild that easily. So if you do and you love yourself a bit of Disney villains, then this can be a nice way to expand your collection. But I don't think that anything here is truly worth it. Nothing looks super exciting. So there's that. There's a new powder from Gucci. I already mentioned I'm not in the market for a new powder, so I'm not in the market for this one. But Gucci products kind of pull on my heartstrings because I love the packaging. I have a bunch of their lipsticks. I did an entire trial with a couple of their lipstick formulas, but that's the only thing that I've truly found worth purchasing from the brand. Everything else, oh, and I have one of their concealers, so that's about as far as it goes. I haven't tried anything else from the brand because they are a little bit pricey. And again, this is a brand I can only really buy. No, they're now in Douglas, I believe. They've replaced Armani in my local Douglas. That's true. So I do check them out from time to time, but it's just pricey, and it's just then not something I budget for. And whenever I think like, oh, I need a new powder, this will already be like 2 years down the line. So it's not going to happen. I just know it. Even though I do think that of the like Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like more luxurious brands that we've been getting makeup releases from in the past couple of years, Gucci is probably my favorite. Glossier is dropping some new things again, and it seems to be a powder blush. It's the Cloud Paint Plush Blush. Trying to say that 3 times fast. It's not going to happen. But this shade range is different. I do feel that they've sort of stuck to a powder version of what they're already doing in the regular Cloud Paint, so I don't really feel like I need any of these, but the shades aren't like, they are different names. Not all of them, but quite a bit of them are. So, but for a blush range, like I've been complaining about them all looking the same, and I do think there are some slight different undertones here. It's still a lot of peach and coral though, so I will be skipping those for sure. And I'm not really in the market for it anyway. There is a new Byredo palette. This is the Bibliophilia eyeshadow palette. It seems to be a split between like cool tone neutrals on one side, warmer tone neutrals on the other side. I was able to swatch one of the earlier releases that Byredo did, and this is like a sort of baked kind of shadow formula. At least this looks like it's going to be a similar formula to that palette. And it was okay, but for how pricey this is $115. It's apparently infused with minerals. Take that as you wish, but to me, it felt, you know, those bare mineral shadows that we got a decade ago? That's what this felt like to me. They weren't chalky, but it did feel like a pretty thin formula, and nothing in the palette was overly sparkly. So these is, again, they all look pretty satin, and that's not really something I want to go for. So beautiful, yes, if you love your luxurious makeup products, this is going to be an excellent palette. But when I touched that formula, I instantly knew, no, this is not going to be for me. So if this is the same formula, I know I can skip it. And this is such a throwback. MAC is bringing back their lip erase. I used to have one of these things back in the day. Like, we're talking 12, 13 years ago. I had a MAC lip erase in my possession. And that's what I use it for, to erase my lips. If you want, like, the perfect nude lip, this is the product for you. It's really that. It's concealer lips, they're back, and if that's what you like, then I think this is a really excellent product. I don't necessarily need this in my life. I already did this sort of look back in the day, so I don't know whether I'm going to be loving this time round. I did it then, and I'm good with that. But yeah, if you've never tried that sort of very concealer lips, like throwback to the 90s sort of thing, then this may be good, because this is also really good at just blocking out your lips before you put on anything else. If that's something that you struggle with, like me, like you can't see because I'm wearing lipstick, but I've got pretty pigmented lips myself. And then this is actually pretty helpful just to tone it down so you can actually do a nude lip. Very often, a lot of nude lips don't look nude on me because I have such pigmented lips. That's why I like to go for something slightly darker usually. So, good release from MAC. I think this is very bang on the money for where makeup trends are currently going. So, I think this will be a very popular product. And this is, again, also, we're getting a lot of re-releases, I'm just realizing now that I'm talking to you. This is apparently coming back. It's going to be restocked on September 11th. It's by ColourPop. It's called A Shadow of Secrets. And why does this look like a brand new palette to me? I've probably talked about it in the past, but it's back by popular demand. It seems to be a really beautiful berry palette. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of my melt cheese in parties, because it has very similar shades in, and that's discontinued. So if you want to get that vibe, and you know you like the ColourPop formula, then this could be worth a shot, I'm sure. So I will not be buying this one for myself because I already have things that look like it, but this is a good release from ColourPop. I like the look of this. If I didn't already have so many things that can do this in my collection, I would probably be like, well, I won't be setting an alarm clock to be buying this, but I would probably be interested a little bit more. And finally, the final release I need to chat to you about is this Flower Nose collection that we're getting. It's the Sweetie Bear collection. It's their collection for fall. The packaging, you guys, we all know this about Flower Nose by now. Their packaging is on point. The blush shades, they kind of look like every single blush they've done so far, so that is not that interesting. The eyeshadow palettes are okay. Nothing, again, to write home about, but these collections are always extensive. They do perfumes, and they do accessories, and mirrors, and all that jazz, so you can be completely decked out into this cute teddy bear sort of moment if you'd like. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to share with you today. Let me know in a comment down below what new makeup release you're excited for, because I would love to know. And then I really hope you enjoyed watching this video today. I will be back with a new video very, very soon. So thumbs up this video in the meantime, and then I hope to see you again shortly. Bye-bye!